Have you always wanted to make music but been put off by all the equipment and music theory? Well, I might just have the answer for you. This is Dubler by Vochlea.
Hello.
I would estimate that about half of the music I make starts from an idea in my head. The other half comes from new bits of technology, new sounds, studio equipment, or compositions I want to deconstruct. The fastest way to express this for me is nearly always vocally. I'm constantly humming melodies or trying out new rhythms just using my mouth. Even when I'm in the studio working with artists trying to refine harmonies and ideas for a track, this back and forth is often first expressed vocally and then transcribed into instruments. One of the greatest examples of this is to watch a production hero of mine, Timbaland, in the studio. He makes sketches of his beats by beatboxing and then converts those recordings into full tracks. This method can give a wonderfully different approach when compared to musicians who've studied other instruments. If you want my personal favourite example of this, I would suggest listening to how another of my production heroes, Square Pusher, approaches making music. He often turns music on its head using unexpected instruments to play unexpected parts, and I personally think much of this comes from him being a bass player. He will use the bass to play the melody, the drums do solos, and classic lead instruments focus on long sustained notes which traditionally might be written for bass parts. It can often make for far more interesting compositions than the standard formulaic approaches you encounter regularly as a music producer. Today, I'm going to try and do something different and see if it gives me a new approach to making beats by incorporating some new technology. This is the new addition to my studio setup, Dubler by Vochlea. This mic and its accompanying software promise to work as a Midi controller and respond to the sounds you make with your mouth. It has two sections, one that responds to a melody and one that you can train to respond to percussive sounds. In simple terms, that means that if you sing a melody, your DAW will play it back in any instrument that you choose. At the same time, you can make percussive sounds and your DAW will play that sequence back as a drum kit. This seems to me like another step forward into being able to imagine what you want your music to sound like and not being limited by your lack of ability to play instruments. I presume you'll get far better results from Dubler if you're a master beatboxer, and I can't wait to see it in the hands of one. So let's give it a go. There are numerous guides from the company online to help you get the software set up, which I'll link below. I've done all of this already, and so I'm going to dive in and make a beat with Dubler. First, I'll train the software with 3 simple distinct sounds. I'll go for a kick drum, a snare, and a hi-hat. Dubler can handle more sounds than this, but sadly my terrible beatboxing skills really can't. However, once I've recorded my basic kick and snare sequence, I can go back and record as many other layers as I like. Now that I have my beat done, I can switch over to the melody section and add my bass,
Boo boo ba boo boo ba boo.
lead melody,
Bum 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 bum.
there. We have a track sketched out in the space of a few minutes. I love working at this speed, and this mic and software helps me to map out ideas as quickly as they come to me. I can instantly hum out what I want to hear, and then if my terrible singing ability lets me down, I can reposition the notes afterwards in the DAW. This opens up a lot more opportunity for artists in my studio who haven't had much music theory training and find it hard to express what they want. Now we can speak back and forth in a musical language through this new piece of tech and make far better compositions in a far faster manner. It also means people who have no understanding of musical theory can make professional level compositions as long as they can replicate what they hear in their head through their mouths. I think this is one of the best tools I've ever encountered for sketching out musical ideas quickly that you can then come back to and perfect. If you're a producer or DJ on tour or just working away, I think this might be the best thing to add to your bag alongside your laptop for taking as small a studio setup as possible. I absolutely love Dubler and I'm going to have it on standby for all my future studio sessions. I think I might also utilise it a lot when working on my own, constructing tracks to speed up the entire music making process. What a wicked little addition to my studio. If you want to try it out, then you can find it on the link in my description. And please remember to subscribe to Beatnik TV.
Oh yeah.